The Dallas Cowboys should not be allowed to keep doing this. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video. And if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is that the Dallas Cowboys have found a hidden gem in DeMarvion Overshown, and the rest of the NFL is scared. Under the leadership of Dan Quinn, the Dallas Cowboys defense has become formidable in a short period. Drafting Micah Parsons catapulted the defense to new heights. However, even before then, Trayvon Diggs brought athleticism to the secondary, and the signings of Malik Hooker and Jaron Kearse added the attitude. This year, the first-round pick landed in the middle of the defensive front with Mazi Smith. He will most certainly make the run defense stouter as the year progresses. What about that third-round pick that Dallas stumbled upon? DeMarvion Overshown is going to be an interesting chess piece for this unit. Is he going to line up as a linebacker? Maybe he'll get snaps on the edge. How about the big nickel safety linebacker hybrid? All of those options are on the table. If you remember the 1992 Dallas Cowboys, there was a player with similar qualities. He was smaller than Overshown, but he was in a class of his own with versatility. Could DeMarvion be this year's version of Darren Woodson? It's probably too early to jump out the box, but the possibility still exists. Back in 1992, Dallas drafted Darren Woodson out of Arizona State University. Many will remember he wasn't a strong safety leaving the collegiate ranks. He spent most of his time playing outside linebacker. He was a heck of a talent. During his time at ASU, Woodson played some edge, linebacker, and safety, showing his versatility and ability to impact the game. The Dallas Cowboys secondary coach Dave Campo saw the undeniable talent similar to Dan Quinn, identifying the talent in Overshown. The future Hall of Famer ran a 4.53 at the NFL Combine in the 40-yard dash, solidifying the idea that he could fall into the mold of a safety. Let the record show that on his pro day, he improved his time dramatically by running a 4.38. With that, his rookie season included backup defensive back duties, scheme-specific assignments, and special teams. The special teams role required effort and sacrifice, and Darren Woodson was up for that, and some in his first season. As recent as 3 years ago, he still supports the mantra of hustling to the ball. DeMarvion will more than likely go through a similar transition as Woodson. He is an undersized linebacker, according to NFL standards. The Texas linebacker measured 6'3" and 239 lbs at the NFL Combine. However, the athleticism at the position will be his calling card. An athlete who runs a 4.56 in the 40 at his size can do damage unleashed within a defense. But like Woodson, he'll get plugged within specific defensive packages and special teams. I will not be shocked if he steals the title of special teams ace before the end of his rookie campaign. Dave Campo and Dan Quinn are great defensive minds that can see beyond what the numbers tell them. Within the game of football, few can assess, envision, and deploy talent on their level. Both of those guys have that in spades. Campo wasn't as bullish on putting Woodson into the starting lineup, but when he landed there, the creativity began. Only a handful of coaches would be comfortable allowing their strong safety to double down and play the free spot. Even beyond that, having a coach who will trust to put that prospect in the slot, which could be the most challenging place to contain a receiver, takes guts. Luckily for DeMarvion, he has a coach with similar fortitude. Quinn knows how to play to a player's strengths. Darren Bland last year is a clear example, as well as Damon Clark. As it pertains to maximizing a player's skill set, look no further than Parsons. I'll admit, Micah does play a load of snaps on the defensive edge. But I'm sure everyone remembers he came in as a linebacker with ridiculous athletic ability. Quinn was fearless in putting a 245 lb linebacker on edge and getting multiple double-digit sack years, All-Pro recognition, and the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. I'm not saying DeMarvion Overshown will have a Parsons type of rookie season. Putting him in the same breath as Darren Woodson is criminal enough. However, Overshown has the talent to be a mainstay in this defense. He'll have an impact on special teams in his rookie season, and if that is the connection between him and Woody, most Dallas fans will take that. The second story, Cowboys make stance clear on Ezekiel Elliott return. Ezekiel Elliott is still on the free agent market after the Cowboys released him in March. There were various reports that the running back could return to the team this offseason. However, that scenario does not seem likely, as NFL reporter Jane Slater clarified recently on NFL Network. Slater stated there has not been any traction in Elliott playing for Dallas this upcoming season. She also noted that the team has other options for the running back position. They're just not talking about it. When I asked if there would be a situation where they would bring him back, it sounds like the same answer I've gotten from a number of teams. It would basically require an injury to one of their other running backs. As much as I know a lot of guys in the locker room would love Ezekiel Elliott to come back, there just doesn't seem like there's a lot of smoke here. The Dallas Cowboys saved around $11 million when they released Ezekiel Elliott this offseason. Elliott had an amazing start to his career with the Cowboys, finishing second in the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year voting in 2016. His 1,631 rushing yards led the league that year while getting 15 touchdowns in the process. It was the third most yards for a rookie in a season in NFL history, while the 15 touchdowns were tied for the second most. The three-time Pro Bowler last led the NFL in carries in 2018 with 304, as he led in rushing yards that year. His carries dropped from 244 in the 2020 season to 237 the following season. Last season, Ezekiel Elliott had the lowest amount of carries in his NFL career with 231. This was in large part due to the emergence of Tony Pollard taking the majority of snaps in the Cowboys' backfield. The 27-year-old ranks third in Cowboys history in yards, 8,262, and touchdowns, 68. Time will tell if a team will pursue the All-Pro running back this offseason. Coming off the strongest season of his career in 2022, star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is in line for a contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys. While he is currently still serving his rookie contract with the team, the organization did pick up his fifth-year option back in April, keeping him in Dallas at least through the 2024 season. In 2023, Lamb is expected to count just $4.45 million on the team's cap, while having a $2.52 million base salary. If Lamb plays on his fifth-year option in 2024, the wide receiver will count $17.99 million on the cap. However, the team has not been shy about their interest in signing him to a contract extension before then. This could possibly happen as soon as this summer. Executive Vice President Stephen Jones expressed the desire to reach a contract offer with Lamb in April on a segment on 105.3 The Fan. We've historically signed a lot of guys during that training camp period to extensions, but guys like CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs are certainly on our radar in terms of guys that we'd love to have around here for another 5-6 years, whatever that turns out to be. The Athletic's John Machota is projecting the Cowboys to offer Lamb a contract within the range of $25, $30 million per season. While this is simply a projection and not a report, it is interesting to consider the value that the Cowboys should be investing into their star wide receiver. The top 10 highest-paid receivers all make at least $20 million per season. The top 5 average at least $24 million per season. Miami's Tyreek Hill is the highest paid at $30 million per year over 4 years. Look for Lamb's next deal to pay him in the $25 million to $30 million per year range. When looking at this chart of the league's highest-paid wide receivers, this projection makes sense for Lamb. Lamb still has a lot to prove before he should be mentioned in the same conversation as the top 3 on this list. Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, and Cooper Kupp have all proved they belong in a separate tier in the wide receiver discussion. However, Lamb statistically has an argument with the rest of these players on the list. It also is no secret that when a star player gets a new contract, he does better than what the market already is. When Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson receives his new contract with the team, he will certainly become the league's highest-paid wide receiver. One could argue that this adds even more pressure for the Cowboys to extend Lamb before the market gets reset. Lamb has yet to accumulate less than 900 receiving yards in the 3 seasons he has spent with the team. Each of his major statistical categories has improved each year as well. At just 24 years old, Lamb is undoubtedly an elite-caliber wide receiver in the NFL. He has a long future ahead of him and likely has not reached his peak yet as a pass catcher. The Cowboys should do whatever they can to get him re-signed as soon as they can. The third story is Dallas Cowboys make confident claim on their 2024 season. It's no secret that Dallas Cowboys fans, present around the nation and the entire world, are not exactly beloved by other NFL fan bases. And yet, America's team supporters don't care that much. After all, Cowboys superstar Micah Parsons has their backs as he recently stood in front of a microphone in El Paso, Texas, to drop the 4-word sentence that many people hate to hear Cowboys fans speak, "This is our year." Parsons attended former UTEP star running back Aaron Jones' softball charity game and stole the spotlight with his promise to Cowboys fans. "Listen, it's time. This is it, man," Parsons told fans in the stands at Southwest University Park. "Super Bowl, this is our year." Cowboys fans have probably been repeating that to themselves since the last time the franchise lifted the Lombardi Trophy in January of 1996. Since Super Bowl XXX, the team hasn't even been back to an NFC championship game. Could Parsons' words translate into reality? Only time will tell. But the Cowboys are indeed one of the favorites in the conference alongside the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. With a new play caller and a new weapon in the speedy Brandon Cooks, the team hopes to have that missing playoff juice that's led to back-to-back eliminations against the Niners. As for Micah, he'll lead a defense that's positioned itself as one of the best in the entire league